recording. We are live.
All right. Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for joining. I have Cindy as well as Susan here with me today.
We're busy right now because we're kind of hearing crickets at the moment. We're trying to keep the office busy, the crew's busy. I don't know if any.
Yeah, that wasn't me. Just to throw it out there, the brains behind Wholesale Fencing, his name is Adam Butts, and it's great. If and when you need to get your fence materials, we sell them nationwide, all different varieties, and that's the only plug I'll throw in there.
I think it's gonna dumb our generation up a little bit, though. I'm nervous that after a while, nobody's gonna be writing their own emails. They're just gonna be They're gonna be typing in, tell Susan, I think she smells funny.
Yeah, he asked me about it too. He said, "What's Susan's mom's name?" And I said, "Toby," and he was like, "She requested me," and I said, "Accept it, duh, we love mom."
And we started doing meetings in the morning, and we have designated, I don't know if you guys have how you do your teams, international BNIs.
BNI.
Yeah, they
BNI. Every city.
Yeah. Y con eso, hablando de eso, es qué difícil es cuando una persona entra a trabajar a un lugar que nada más hablan en inglés, ¿verdad?
I love the challenge. I love learning new stuff every day. And I feel like if I had to choose to do that on my own, I don't know that I would.
I like that.
I will tell you, my husband and I, we just got into the digital world this last, in 2023. We were still handwriting, all of our lead forms, all of our, fence layouts, everything.
I need my little halo on top of my head.
Does that mean I need to put on my horns?
What the fence show is all about. And, I stuck around because I got a great group of amazing women.
You're talking about, millions and millions of dollars in a contract is not something that is, I guess, typical in the fence world, right?
Makes me jealous. Now I want a horse, Brian.
Hello, everybody.
We are live. Everybody check out that new intro that we just had.
It's so cute. Every single time when we watch it, I can't help but just smile like an idiot on the other end, just watching it all happen. So cute.
You know what? I usually end up laughing or oh gosh, I remember what we were talking about during that one. I will tell you, this intro is way less embarrassing on my end than the one we had last year.
Perfect. Embodies us so well.
Throw that out there.
I love it. Well, with that getting us out of the way, I'm Bailey, obviously. Got Veronica here.
Hello. I look like a ghost. My lighting's off. It's been a day. Today is definitely the day to do the live that we're going to talk about today because, let me tell you.
It's miserably cold. It's January. January just sucks. So we're here to talk about what no one wants to talk about. We're going to talk about mental health and how important it is and how it sucks a lot sometimes. And that's okay, but we'll figure it out, right?
Yeah, it is. And, it seems that we did a touch base on this last year. And it's super important to all of us on Women of FWA to get the content out there and to say, hey, we're all struggling. We're all fighting this. This is not something that you have to live in a world or in a bubble by yourself. That to reach out to people, not even in the industry, reach out to somebody and have the conversations with them. And you're not the only one that is struggling or going through certain things. And how do each one of us handle it a little bit differently? Because the way I handle it's different than Bailey handles it, and and so forth. So we do really find that it's super important to have the conversation and be real and raw, like Women of FWA always are.
Yeah, definitely, almost to a fault, but that's okay.
Yeah, I mean, more people will say it's a fault than others.
Right. No, but like we definitely want to like let everyone know that like everybody struggles sometimes. Like personally, I feel like everyone in my like day-to-day life knows that I'm like just a ball of walking anxiety for whatever reason or another. And like, you know, it's great. I deal with it how I can. And then I go through like bouts of depression and everything like that too. Like especially like I said during January, it just sucks ass during the winter time, especially in this industry. And we just gotta like, however we have to, you know, drag ourselves out of that hole, we do.
Yeah, and it's not just work related. I really want to touch base on that. It's not just being in the fence industry. It's not just, you know, dealing with, you know, the taxes and the financials at the end of the year, or the lack of jobs coming in, or the phone not ringing, or how do you pay your bills during the slower time of year. It's so much more than that. But yes, all of that definitely does play into the mental health part of it and how you're dealing with it and what's next and what fresh hell is tomorrow going to bring. You know, I'm pretty sure there's a bunch of us that say that daily. And I want to say that January seems to be nothing but a bunch of Mondays. It is 31 days of Mondays.
Yeah.
And I can't be the only one that feels that way.
Without a doubt. I would honestly go as far to say December into January for me is just, it's just rough. And like I've talked to like you guys about it all the time. Like we go through in the Women of FWA chat all the time. I mean, like, listen, today I just can't be a human today. And just so you guys know that I can't be human today, I'm not going to be human today type of thing, you know?
And, you know, I think it's so important to know where that line is for you, and when to call it out, when to say it. You know, I just can't. We have such a great team that, you know, there's days that, you know, there's a message that goes out to Mark and Alan, and I'm just like, you guys, I can't today. I just need a day where not, you know, the phone's not ringing. I need this, I need that, I need this, or where's this, where's that, where's this, you know, and I just need a day with none of it. And matter of fact, I had one of those not too long ago. You know, there was a text message that went out and said, listen, my mood is shit. I am not doing anything good for this company. I'm not making good decisions. I don't have what's best for the company at heart today. And so it's really best if I call it a day. And it was 12 o'clock. So it was too late to call in sick, you know.
Yeah.
We had already passed that point.
Yeah. Can't call in. You just got to cut it short.
Yeah. And, you know, of course, they're like, are you okay? Is everything all right? Yeah. I just, you know, the weight, it gets to be a lot. And each person handles it different. Bailey, you know, when you and I I know that there's times your anxiety gets the best of you. And then there's me going, you're fine. You're fine. Yeah. And I push you out of your comfort zone.
Yes.
But I think that sometimes we kind of need that because we have a tendency to the weight of anxiety and the weight of all of it is so heavy. Sometimes you need that push past it. Like we'll deal with the emotion when this is over, you know, then we'll break it down. So
yeah.
What do you do when you're at work and you just can't call it a day?
So for me, it's like, it's kind of like what you were saying. It's like, if I have someone telling me like, it's either one or the other. It's either one, I'm pushing through it, just like you said, and I'm getting through what needs to be done. I'm putting my head down and I'm getting through the day, whatever that looks like, whether I'm doing fencing work or I'm at my day job, whatever it is. You just have to keep going. You have to keep going. And then I can let myself deal with myself later. But on the other hand, if I am crashing out, and like I do this thing where like if I am fencing and I'm just working myself up for no reason at all, like there's not always a reason that like my anxiety flares up or my depression starts to drag me down. There's not always a reason. It's brain chemistry and it's really annoying, but again, we deal with it. So if it's really, really bad, I have to just take a step back and like, I guess when we're fencing, I have the advantage of me and Colby own our company. So I can tell him like, I just can't can't do this today. We have a helper with us, but I can't be here, you know. And then I'll go home, remove myself from the situation. And if that means I'm still working from home, just not like with power tools in my hands that I'm like shaking so bad that I can't use, then it's like detrimental to what we're doing. If I'm fucking up a line on a fence, it's just not going to look right either. So like you have to know when to tell yourself it's okay to stop and go home, or let's just push through it. I can get through this and then we can deal with it later.
Yeah. And there's, you know, then you have to sit back as an owner. There's so many other things that go into that, you know, the safety of you and who's on your team or who's working with you. Then it's the matter of making the customer happy. Then it's a matter, you know, if it's not right, you're going to want to go back and do it. So you're going to end up losing money. You're going to end up, you know, with a customer that might not be. Are you going to make it right? Yes, you're going to make it right. But that customer is still going to remember all of the work or all of the back and forth to make it right. You know, that's not a good Google review.
Right.
You know, sometimes it's better to be like, hey, Miss Jones, you know, I'm really sorry. I know we're this far, you know, unfortunately we had something come up. We will be back tomorrow at 8 a.m. And address it. Does she need to know all the nitty gritties? No. Right. But again, that comes into communication with those around you, including your customers, and letting them know that, you know, unfortunately something came up. I'm one of those, like, emotional wise, I'm really good in the heat of the moment. If something catastrophic and an emergency situation comes up, I'm really good about being able to turn off my emotion and like dig into it head first. Let's make sure everybody's taken care of. And then I will have a complete meltdown when it's all done, which is so different for most people, because most people, they have the meltdown in the process, and I'm so focused on that. Then when it's done, it's like, you know, but know yourself and know your body and know the way your brain works and how much your presence in those moments affect everything else. And then that also helps some decisions about, you know, call it a day, or I can't have power tools right now because frankly, I'm going to be chasing small squirrels around the yard with this drill. Like, you know, and it's really about knowing and tips and tricks. I have a very, very good friend of mine that has panic attacks from anxiety. And one of the most brilliant trick that I learned being around her was salt. It sounds crazy, but if you're neck deep, or, you know, when you're in that panic attack, it's 10 feet above your head, is to throw some salt in your mouth. It triggers the chemicals in your brain, and will actually stop the panic attack in the process. I mean, it's seconds, Bailey. It's like, it hits your tongue and starts to dissolve, and it instantly will pull her out of that moment.
I'll have to carry a salt shaker in my car now.
She does. She does. I'm not even kidding you. The little packets of salt that you can actually get, you know, when you order, let's say if you DoorDash or you order food to go, and the little salt and pepper things, she has those in her car too, or in her purse. Because there's something that when that, like I said, it's a chemical thing, and it's proven. If you look it up, you know, Google it. Google everything I say.
It's a shock to the system. That's what I was guessing too. I have, like when I'm at home, I have like ice packs in my freezer, and like they say, like another shock to the system is just cooling down your nervous system. So literally putting an ice pack on my chest or on the back of my neck. Especially when it's like super hot out and I'm working, that's what I'll do, is I'll put something really, really cold on the back of my neck. If I can do it, you know, and just kind of pull me back to reality. Find your center, find your ground.
Yeah. And, you know, like splashing water on your face. It's another one, especially anybody that has kids that's watching this, you know, and they're upset and they're like, you know, like splash some water on their face. Why that works, I don't know. But then instantly, you know, dry them off, and then you can understand what the hell they're saying, you know? So it's those little tips and tricks, and definitely knowing your body, knowing yourself, know when you're a detriment or not an asset for the day, because we're all we all struggle with it.
Right.
My anxiety is at night. You know, do I have anxiety throughout the day about things? Absolutely. But it's that at the end of the day when I go to sleep that I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't do this, or oh my gosh, I didn't do that, or oh my gosh, I got to do X, Y, and Z, or oh no, I did this wrong. And trust me, having an office at home is not always a good thing, because there's been plenty of times where I'll get up out of bed and then I look down, it's 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I have to go to the office in a few hours. Like, I have to try to get an hour's sleep. And then there's times where I look down and I'm like, well, I'm not sleeping tonight. Time to go shower and get ready for work.
Right. It's it's rough trying to like being able to pull yourself out, because like I'll do that at night, is specifically in the middle of the night. Honestly, after I've already gone to bed, I'll wake up in the middle of the night and then I'll just freeze, and I'll be like a million things are going through my head, just like you were saying about, I didn't get this done today, I really need to do this, I really need to make this deadline, I have to pay this bill tomorrow. It all kind of, and then it's 3 a.m. I'm laying in bed staring at the ceiling. What am I going to do about it? You know, it's like, there's nothing you can do about it, but you're just like locked in that like terror for no reason.
Sorry, somebody just got home, and so Piper's announcing that they're here.
There
we go. Piper, quit. Okay. Well, we're gonna snowball it.
Yep.
You know, making a list, that's another thing that really helps me at night. And my number one, actually, that I have a tendency to do is I'll send myself emails. Because sometimes that list seems to be way too much, but then not that, you know, waking up to 17 of your own emails isn't another one, but then you can get rid of them one at a time, and you're taking things off a little bit. You know, we've all heard the saying that you can't eat an elephant in one bite, and sometimes you can't take on the next day that same way. And so it's a matter that send yourself 17 emails and get through one at a time. Another one that I do is at night, you know, taking a shower, getting done for the day. That's another time that it'll rear its ugly head. And I'm like, why? You know, and then 17 emails later. So you can imagine sometimes how many of my own emails end up in my inbox of 500.
Goodness. God. No, it is. It sucks. It's just like whenever you have a chance, for me, it feels like whenever I have a chance to like settle and I don't have a million things going on, that's when things start to flare up. It's like, I love working. I love everything that I do, but like sometimes I feel like it gets the better of me, and then I just try to go steamroll through it, but then I blow up, you know? Like that's when you blow up or you implode, more so is what I do. I just
you implode or explode to people that probably don't deserve it. I refer to them as my safe place. Poor James. Like, you know, I'm one of those that I keep it together really, really, really well. And then all of a sudden, all hell breaks loose and nothing in my brain is working right. And everything is like fire shooting out of my mouth. And he is standing there going, okay, but what do you want for dinner? And I'm like, fuck you, fuck this, fuck that, I don't care. Like,
yes.
Did it really have anything to do with dinner? No.
Not. Never. No, I feel this.
But you know, he's really good.
Yeah.
He's really good about, okay, now let's really talk about what's going on. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then it gets all into the feelings, and we all know, like, I hate those. I don't like them, but
awful. It's awful.
Yeah.
And then you talk it through, and it's exhausting, and then you like feel like you got run over by a dump truck, right? Like it's
literally,
physically affect, like mental health and physical health go hand in hand. One directly affects the other in either way it's going on. I can't tell. I've had panic attacks before. I don't suffer from them like consecutively or anything, or like normally, but I've had them before, and it's like I gotta take the rest of the day off. Like I truly recovering from a panic attack or a super bad anxiety episode, like it literally makes me feel like I just had a heart attack for whatever reason.
Well, and you know what? It's a proof thing that actually panic attacks kind of mimic a heart attack. And so there's a lot of people that end up going to the emergency room, that go to the hospital thinking they're having a heart attack, and it's a panic attack. Your body like just all of a sudden goes on the fritz, and you know, things hurt, and you're just like, I don't know what's going on. And then what happens? It amplifies it.
Right. Everything,
you know, then all of a sudden you're like, what's happening? And then it's sometimes worse because you're just thinking about what's happening. So, you know, that they're definitely, it's all definitely part of it. And you've got to be able to know when and how to identify all of it, and tips and tricks that work for you to kind of work through it. All of us are going through it. All of us are dealing with it, you know, the high stress this time of year, you know, about so many different things in our industry, not to mention personally, you know, coming down off of the holiday highs. And then all of a sudden you're like, holy crap, I spent too much money at Christmas. And yeah, my kids are happy, but I'm going to pay this year off, and then I'm going to have next year come sneak its ugly head, you know, because it goes fast. So
yeah.
And the weather changed. Let's talk about the snow and negative 33 real feel that we woke up to yesterday.
Yeah, we're getting the polar vortex and everything with the negative 25, 35 and like chilling winds and everything, but we haven't gotten any snow. Down south is where all the snow went. We've gotten
Susan took it.
Yes, Susan got all 12 inches of the snow. We've had probably an accumulation of maybe 3 inches of snow this whole season. We haven't even had enough to go out and do snow removal. So that's like another thing that sucks for us right now. Like the phones aren't ringing for fences because we can have it back. I don't necessarily want it, but I take it.
Come get Mother Nature. She's drunk in my yard again.
Real.
It seems to have missed you, because in Wyoming, we've actually gotten quite a bit of snow this year, which is great, because last year we hardly had 0 snow all year. But with that comes, you know, the cold temperatures, and how do you get out into the sunshine? And then it brings on a whole new set. How do you battle the winter blues?
Yeah.
And I say winter blues, that goes across the nation. Even, you know, Yadira, who's watching, who's in Las Vegas, I know she goes through the same thing, because it's not 130 and she's not being a lizard out at the lake with Brian.
Yeah.
So, you know, it brings down your vitamin D, and it's not just vitamin D that your body takes in, you know, it also helps with your cortisol levels, and it also helps, you know, with all these other hormones and levels that help combat all of that.
Definitely. One of my favorite things that I like to do when like my brain will allow me to have like just a cool down day where I don't have to focus on all of the things that are stressing me out. So I'll always, one of my favorite things to do this year is like I've gotten really back into reading again. I've read so much during school and everything like that. And then once I was out of school, I'm like, okay, now I have to just work all the time. Never gave myself a chance to do the things like that aren't necessarily being like productive for work, but are making me happy. And it's like finding that fun balance of, okay, I'm going to allow myself to sit on my couch and do nothing but read my book for the next 2 hours. And I'm going to be okay with that. A lot of that is making myself feel okay with with doing that, and not like being productive in a traditional sense, but I'm still being productive because I'm not offing myself, you know.
You're recharging your batteries.
Yes.
And I really think that that's hard for women in particular, to not be there and say, listen, I can't take care of you, or I can't take care of this, or I, you know, take that step back and recharge our batteries. You know, one of the best things I've ever heard is you can't keep pouring into other people's cup when yours is empty. And it's true. You have nothing else to pour.
Right.
So sometimes you have to say, hey, I need to recharge my batteries. I need to check out. I need to do this for me. And then you can give. And then what you'll realize is you're not giving just 2-3%. You're actually able to give them the 15, 20, 30% that they need.
Right.
And it's their 30%. It's not yours.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it might be your 2%, but you took those couple hours to recharge a little bit so you could give that to them.
Yeah.
And that's important. One of the things that I do is, and I will tell you, I don't do it often enough, is my family knows that if it's bath night, it is lights off, candles lit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in my bathroom, and I will be in there for hours.
Yeah.
I have a jetted tub, water stays hot,
Nice.
you know, and it is, nobody comes and knocks on the door, and nobody comes in and bothers me. I'll turn on my music, and I will just sit in there.
Mm-hmm. You just need to recharge.
Right.
Recharge in like a calming and like comfortable environment. That's my biggest thing. It's like I can't thrive in constant stress and chaos. I need the quiet. Most of the time I need the quiet, honestly.
So I love the chaos and I love the quiet. Maybe it's because, you know, it's so loud and chaotic around me that it kind of calms the voices in my head, or I just can't hear them.
Right.
But it definitely gets to a point where you're just like, okay, everybody shut up. The voices in my head, shut up. Everything on the outside, shut up. Just everything stop.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I will tell you. So I think Yadira asked it a few minutes ago, is what do you do in the downtime? You know, what do you do in those moments that are so low? And I will tell you, I learned this trick many years ago when I suffered a death in my family. And I just kind of wasn't sure. I had a really good friend reach out to me that had lost her dad not too long before. And granted, all my parents are still alive, so it's not that. But she had lost her dad, and she was talking about these moments. And I was like, what do you do? She was like, it sounds stupid, but America's Funniest Home Videos. I tell myself it's okay to laugh.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay to find things funny. It's okay to do that. And I was like, that's ridiculous. And then like a couple days later, I was having one of those moments and I made myself, it was like every ounce of my being to turn it on. Mm-hmm. And I sat there and laughed for an hour, and it made it okay. Yeah. I was okay to feel those feelings. I was okay to live in that moment. But then I had to tell myself I'm okay to laugh. It's okay to enjoy things. It's okay to make a list of things that you love, and then to read that list in these moments. But you have to have the discipline within yourself to know when you're there. Yes.
Exactly.
Yes, exactly. You know, you have to know when you need that, or to make that phone call to somebody that will make you laugh, somebody that's going to shoot it to you straight, one that's going to tell you, hey, put on your big girl panties. You've been living here long enough. It's time to pick it up.
Right.
You know,
yeah.
And you've got to keep going, and having that support group around you is another
huge to have people in your corner. I grew up with such a close family, and we're still all so close. And now our family has grown tenfold because me and both of my siblings both have spouses. All three of us all have spouses now. So it's like, and like the more our family grows, like the tighter we all are still. Like having those support systems, whether it be your family or like our Women of FWA group chat, where we're all just fucking off one day, and the other day we're like asking for thoughts and prayers because we're just going through it. You know what I mean? Like it's having your tribe. That's what Yadira has said to us in the last few days. Your tribe, like find the people that you can talk to about this stuff. Like there's absolutely no shame, and like shouldn't be any type of stigma around saying, hey, I feel like I'm drowning right now, you know, and having those people that can, if you can't pull yourself out of it, because there are sometimes that it takes me a long time to pull myself out of it, they can help pull you out of it. Like you said, put on your big girl pants, let's get back into it, and we can slowly get there, you know.
And that's, I think, the importance of having the tribe and having the right tribe.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, I've had friendships in my past where they feel like that tough love or that, hey, put on your big girl panties, this is what we're doing, is the only part of the friendship or the only part of being a part of the tribe. And that's not the case. You need that balance of people in your life where they're going to listen and they're going to be, empathetic to the situation. Again, there's that empathetic word. I know that I've said a million times on these lives about being empathetic, but have that empathetic moment, but at the same time know when it's time to tell me, let's buck it up.
Right.
Let's, you've been living here. This isn't, you've taken the time, you feel the feelings, you're in the moment. Now it's time to start climbing out of this hole.
Exactly. Can't dwell on it forever, but you can let yourself feel it.
And I think that's another part of mental health that is often overlooked is, people are like, oh, well, you shouldn't feel that way, or you shouldn't feel this way, or, it's just time to get over it. You have to feel it, because I know for me, if I don't feel it, when that implosion happens down the road, let me tell you what, I'm going to feel it 10 times.
Yeah. And I'm going to take everyone out with me. If I'm going down, everyone's going down within a mile radius of me. I can't, it's going on,
I refer to someone that's extremely close in my group, not in the women WA group, when he gets on a tyrant, to call him the Tasmanian shit slinging devil.
Nice.
Because he is going to sling shit anywhere that's in the path. And it's not directed at anybody. It's not because of that moment. He's not mad at everybody. It's just everything's so heavy and he hadn't taken the time to, And trust me, now he's a million times better about it. And it's great. Right. But it took somebody to say, hey, are you really mad at them? What's going on? So having the right tribe, having the right people, and having more than one.
Yeah.
I saw a meme not too long ago. I thought it was great. And it says, I have 2 best friends. I have one best friend that's always going to tell me what I want to hear. And then I have the other best friend that's going to tell me what I need to hear.
Yeah.
You know, it's important to have that circle,
right?
And more than just one person, a group of them in a group text message talking about stupid weather apps, and then talking about needing prayers, and
Yes, exactly. I love it. I mean, I could drone on and on about this for hours, I think, with you and with everyone, but I think, like I said, I think the most important thing is just shouldn't be a stigma around talking about all this bullshit. It's all bullshit. It's gonna stay bullshit. It sucks, it sucks, but it's there.
Right. One of the things, anybody that knows me personally knows that I went through some huge major things in the last, a couple years ago, that resulted through court, not against me, but it was a big thing. Anybody that knows me personally knows this. And in that, I decided that I really needed to go talk to somebody. It was time, and there's no shame. Like, you call me and I'm like, nope, sorry, I got a therapy appointment. And so making it so it's not such a stigma, or, oh my gosh, you go to therapy? Sure as hell do.
Absolutely.
One of the things she told me, and it was like the biggest eye opener for me, Bailey, it was honestly like she had smacked me in the face with a 2x4 is how it felt. Is she said that she related it to, I've been hunting and camping my entire life. And so she's like, you got a survival pack, right? And I said, yeah. And she goes, and you carry that survival pack with you to get you through the next day, or to get you through the next challenge, or, whatever's going to come your way. You put things in there that are going to benefit you later on. And I said, yeah. She said, so stop putting shit in your backpack that you shouldn't. Is it going to change the way you wake up tomorrow? Is it going to change the way you feed your family? Is it going to change the way that you pay your bills? She goes, because then you'll be able to prioritize what you're dealing with. But the bullshit, don't put it in your backpack. If it's not yours to carry, don't carry it.
Yep. Yeah. Don't have your pack drag you down. Don't have what you're carrying be more than you can handle, more than you can carry. It just doesn't make sense. That's nice.
Or me carrying all the bullshit for everybody else. That just, if you're on a life raft out in the middle of the ocean, you ain't going to be carrying somebody else. You know, you're going to put in that raft what you need. Everybody's got their own raft. Let them handle it. Let them carry it.
100%.
And I'll tell you, ever since she's told me that, it's very much that when those moments are coming in, it's, wait a minute, is this mine to carry?
Right.
Is this really mine to carry? Maybe part of it's mine to carry, but why am I carrying the whole thing?
Yep.
You know, digging myself out of this hole with this heavy pack with shit that isn't mine is really hard to dig out of.
Down, just weighing you down even further.
Right.
Man, well, if those were ever wise words to end on, I think that's it. Again, we're not doctors, we're not therapists, but figure out what works best for you. Yeah, figure out what works best for you, whether it's a little hobby like Yadira said, trying a new crossword puzzle, just decompressing any way you can. And try a whole bunch of shit. Try a whole bunch of stuff. Some of it's not going to work. Some of it's not going to work, and that's okay.
Try a new hobby. Take up diamond painting. Just please do not go chasing squirrels around with chainsaws and drills in your customer's yard.
Yeah,
that's what we're trying to prevent.
Don't hurt other people. Don't hurt yourself. But figure out a method that works best for you.
And if you're having that moment, you don't have that tribe, please, both of us are on Facebook. Women of FWA are on all the social media. You know, send a message. We'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. If you need somebody, you know, just to vent. Because what we have noticed in the group of women of FWA is we all come from different walks of life. There's a lot of different personalities in the group, not just in the ambassador team. We're talking about women of FWA as a whole. But there is so much common ground and so much, I guess, bonding that goes into sharing these struggles and these moments with other people that share the same passion.
Yeah.
If you're in this industry, you have a passion for it. And it seems that we have found in our wide, diverse group is it always comes back to that. It always comes back to there's that different way to communicate. There's that different things that you connect on. And so if you're having one of those moments, whether if you're a woman in this industry directly or indirectly, if you're a man in this industry and going through those moments, you know, please reach out.
Yeah.
I'll probably tell you a dumb dad joke that's not really a dad joke because it's probably super inappropriate. Like, that's just me. Yep. Bailey will tell you sometimes when the conversation gets a little deep on the Women of FWA chat, I'm the one to throw out something stupid and something so left field, but it gets everybody to think outside of that and to laugh and to know at the end of the day, it's going to be okay.
Right. I love it. Yeah. And that's one of my other things is like when people do reach out, I love saying or asking like, do you want advice? Do you want me to just listen? That's huge because if someone just wants you to listen to them and to hear them and you try to throw out solutions to these problems that they're throwing at you and they're overwhelmed, that's not helping either. So it's like, be there for someone if they reach out to you to either just listen. If they need you to help them, definitely help them. But if you just need to listen, then you just need to listen.
Absolutely. And make sure that you're engaged listening, not just okay, okay. You know, James, this is a good thing that he does with me because there's times where I just need to vent, where I just need to like unleash and get it out there. And he'll ask me straight up, am I fixing this for you?
Right.
Or are you just venting? You know, and I try to do the same thing because it's natural for me, like whether if it's at home or at work. It doesn't matter if even James, Mark, Alan, Dan, any of our team, like they call me, you know, and want to vent about something, I instantly go into fix it mode. And so, yeah, to ask the question,
right?
You know, do you want some advice here? Or, you know, I'll sit here and listen to you all day, you know, but if you want me to help you and to give you advice, I'm more than happy to do that as well.
I love it. I think we covered some good ground here.
I think so. That's definitely, you know, a subject that it gets deep pretty quick. Take your vitamins. That's another one. Let's touch base on that. Take a vitamin D supplement.
100%.
I will. You can obviously tell anybody that's seen me in person. Am I ghost white? Yes. I'm a little bit more white on here, but like I don't do the sun. I'm a vampire. So I will never tell anybody to go into a tanning bed. But I know for some friends of mine during the winter, that's their, they got to get that vitamin D and those sprays and that toxic crap into your skin where I'm like,
yeah. I feel like
you know, if that's what works for you, by all means. You know, if you're a lizard in the summer and you're out in the sun all the time, maybe being in a tanning bed in the winter is a great option for you.
Right.
I literally look like Wednesday Addams in the summer and I hide under a black umbrella. I ain't joking.
That's perfect.
There's a picture, I'm sure it will surface sooner or later, of me floating in the river in Casper, Wyoming under a giant black Gulf umbrella.
That could not be any more you if I imagined it. Perfect.
So everybody check your mental health. Check your friends. Please check your friends.
Absolutely.
You know, if you haven't talked to somebody in a little bit or somebody just all of a sudden randomly pops into your mind, reach out, send a text, you know, send an email, send smoke signals. I don't know. Just let them know that you're checking on them, because that moment, you never know what is going on with them. And that moment might mean the world. A quick text message, hey, love you, checking on you, or hey, how are you? You're on my mind, or just say, hey, thinking about you.
Right.
That could make all the difference in the world. Are you from Transylvania? I should be. You know, growing up, all my friends wanted to be Disney princesses, and I seriously wanted to be Morticia and Wednesday Addams. Not even kidding.
So good. Lord. Oh, shit.
So I think that's a lot for people to digest.
Yeah, probably. But again, no one's talking about it. I wanted to talk about it, so we're talking about it.
Just throw it out there. So check on your friends. Bailey, thanks so much for being real and honest and how you handle these and the anxiety and depression and those moments where you just got to call it. I think being real and taking the stigma out of the mental health thing. You know, we definitely hear it way more nowadays than we did 10 years ago.
Right.
And it's conversations like this that make a difference, that help everybody know. And, you know, if you're in something and, you know, your tribe just isn't enough to kind of support that or give you tools, please seek a professional.
Right.
You know, there's a lot of insurance company nowadays that'll actually give you 3 sessions to go see a therapist or a counselor at zero cost. You know, to make sure that you bond with that person or that you can open them, or personality wise, you know, that it's a good fit. Use the resources, and you can even do it online now.
Yeah. I was just going to say that they have so many online options these days.
You don't even have to put pants on. You have to put a shirt on.
Yes.
Please.
But like, what is it? Like here up. You just got to be covered.
Yeah. I'm like, it's 2020 again and you're on a Zoom.
Exactly.
So thank you to everybody that has commented, that joins, is watching the live or catch us on the replay. Of course, you can check us out on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, email. What else do we have? I think that's all. Did I hit them all?
I think so.
Wow. Look at me.
All that I can remember anyway. So you got one up on me already.
Well, all right. We are the Women of FWA. I am Veronica with SWI. And we have.
Bye, guys.
Have a good night, guys.